A couple years ago, I was on vacation with some friends in the San Juan Islands, and I saw a restaurant with this sign: Chinese teriyaki sushi. Now, most people would just write it off as, oh, they serve these three foods. But here's the thing: I did not do that. I have sat here every single day for 2 years thinking about it. What could Chinese teriyaki sushi possibly be? What would it look like? How would someone make it? And so I'm going to do that right now. Now, before I go off and spend $125 on ingredients and ruin my kitchen for the day, there's a couple of points of research that we need to go through, starting with the basics. So, if you're American like me and someone says sushi, you probably think of something like a California roll, or maybe if you've had a lot of it, if you live in Washington like I do, you think of nigiri, right? So, you think of like the Americanized version and then the traditional Japanese version. But doing a little bit of research here, I found out that sushi is actually just any meat, vegetable, protein, topping, anything with sushi rice, which is a combination of rice with a little bit of vinegar, sugar, and salt added to it. So it turns out, like, pretty much you can make sushi out of whatever. POV, you're an American making sushi. Imagine a burger. So that means a couple of things, right? It means that, for one, we could do something like a sushi roll, we could do something like nigiri, or we could even do something like poke. Just as long as we have that vinegared rice somewhere in this, that makes this sushi. But for the purposes of this experiment, I think I'm going to keep it in the American way, which is I'm just going to roll it in some seaweed and call it a day. Now, on to the next stop. What's going to make this teriyaki? So, the origins of teriyaki are not actually as simple as figuring out what sushi is. There are a couple different arguments and beliefs over what teriyaki actually is and what constitutes it. When I think of teriyaki, I think of this, right? You got your chicken, your rice, and your vegetable salad, and it's covered in teriyaki sauce, right? So it turns out that teriyaki was a thing back in like ancient Japan in the Edo period.
Well, actually, the Edo period wasn't exactly ancient Japan. That was like cowboy times.
Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. I hate you. Get out of my comment section. But modern teriyaki was actually invented right here in Seattle, baby. Boom. Hell yeah. I will die for my country, Seattle. It was invented in 1976 by a Japanese immigrant named Toshihiro Kasahara, and it became widely popular with over 100 different restaurants with teriyaki in the name across the greater Seattle area today. But the interesting thing about teriyaki is that it's not fully Japanese. It's actually technically a fusion dish. It combines element from the original Edo period Japanese recipe with the grilling, the soy base, and brushing it over a hot grill, combined with dakbulgogi, which is a Korean quick frying method with very similar ingredients and a very similar taste too. There was also independently a teriyaki variation created in Hawaii at around the same time. So, two different states and two different countries all lay claim to this being one of their inventions. After the invention of Toshi's teriyaki in 1976, the first adopters of it were actually Korean immigrants who, through the 80s and 90s, sort of changed and molded the recipe a little bit to give us what we now enjoy today. But for the purposes of this experiment, I'm going to be borrowing two things from teriyaki: the sauce, obviously, and then also the little cabbage salad on the side. The most underrated part of every teriyaki box. Nobody talks about the little salad they give you on the side. It's delicious. It's very simple, but it's amazing. And I think it's going to go really nice in a sushi roll. But what the fuck? What do you mean you're just going to use the sauce and the vegetables? No one talks about that. You're supposed to use teriyaki chicken, man. Don't get ahead of me, because we still need to make this Chinese. And that's what's going to bring this whole thing together. We've gone over American sushi. We've gone over American teriyaki. I saw this restaurant in America. It's only right that we use Americanized Chinese food. So what does that look like? That's right. You guessed it. All my big backs in the back stand up. You guessed it. Hell yeah. That's right. We're doing Chinese style fried chicken. Now, what does that look like? That means it's probably going to be very small, dark meat pieces of chicken. I think I'm going to cut them into strips so they're easier and quicker to fry. We're talking about very high heat, quick deep fry, something like peanut oil. And then unlike American or European fried chicken, this is going to be a heavy cornstarch breading with some tapioca starch mixed in probably. We're going to be seasoning it with stuff like white pepper and ginger. Overall, it's going to be really tasty, and we're going to get to put fried chicken in sushi. So, get off my back. I have no idea if this is going to taste good or if this is going to work, man. This is going to be interesting, that's for sure. I'm back. I know that didn't look like it took very long, but that was actually a couple hours worth of work between shopping and cooking everything. Um, Here it is. Let's try it out. I mean, being all rolled up in the seaweed is really good. And the pickled daikon and the carrot go really well together. And the fried chicken and the sweet, savory combination of the teriyaki sauce. I mean, it's really good. I just feel like I've had it before. It's so weird. I don't know. It just tastes familiar. Fuck, man. Fuck. I spent so much fucking money on this. Fuck. I took out a fucking bank loan because I thought this was gonna be the next big thing. Fuck. I made kimbap. Bye.